Ladies and gentlemen, hello flight simmers, welcome back and welcome to the A380. Holy guacamole, it has arrived at last. Super exciting. I have, to be honest guys, I'm just a little bit blown away. It released today. I just did a quick test flight with it, and I am simply blown away. I had to be very honest with you guys. I had medium expectations to this aircraft, as it is a freeware, but holy guacamole, it is insanely good. Consider it's a freeware, it is insanely good. It is better than many paywares out there. The sounds, the interior modeling, everything in the cockpit, it's so different. It's so different to operate this bird compared to any other aircraft I've ever flown before. It is insane. So yeah, in order, today it's, well, it released on a Thursday. I'm trying to capture the video for you guys right after the release, so you can see it on Saturday. And yeah, I'm a little bit speechless, to be honest. I did not expect that good of an aircraft to release from the fly-by-wire guys, so it's... I'm simply amazed. You can probably notice that I'm a little bit lost for words here. So big thanks to the fly-by-wire team for providing us with such an amazing freeware aircraft. And yeah, wow, there's so much things to explore today. Today we will kick things off on a flight from Dubai to Muscat. It has been requested on the channel by Yannick, so since Yannick is a very special member of our community here, I am super happy to be doing this flight for him. He is right in pointing out that this flight is usually operated by 777 these days, but it has been flown with A380s. I'm very sure of that because I've actually been on this flight a couple of years ago with the A380 from Dubai to Muscat. I think it has, at least back then, been the shortest scheduled A380 flight worldwide. So it is quite cool to kick things off with the shortest of all A380 flights, and then of course in the future we will go on these very long flights, like 15-16 hour services with a fully loaded A380. Can't wait to do this, but yeah, today we'll kick things off on a short one. I am flying offline. I am looking at VETScope and Volanta and stuff. Of course, Dubai is packed on the network. Guys, to be very honest with you, I a little bit dislike the idea of flying a brand new aircraft on the network. It just handles different from what we are used to, right? So the FMS works very differently. If you're supposed to go to a direct or something, it is not that intuitive to dial it in, at least for me. When I did the first test right now, it is not 100% intuitive. As we know from other aircraft. So I am not a big fan of taking it online on the very first day. Do 1 or 2 test flights and then feel free to do it online. Right, we are kicking things off in cold and dark today. Yeah, so I was over here. That's the cockpit, of course. The interior modeling, guys, it is mind-blowingly good. It is, look at this. It has the Emirates interior, which is cool because it fits our flight today. Look at the premium economy here. It's like being in the real thing. It is amazing. Let's go to the posh seats, where the big money is paid. Holy guacamole. I would really fancy traveling in here someday. And it's... yeah, of course it's heavy on performance, right? But they've said that up front, so it is kind of heavy. Right now I'm running 50 FPS at least, but there's no traffic, of course. I'm here at the iniBuilds Dubai scenery. So, yeah. Incredibly good, really. Okay, some textures coming through here, but I mean, come on. It's a freeware. It is a freeware. Crazy stuff. Right, let's head down the stairs. And let's... oh, do we have the cabin, the crew rest area modeled? No. Is it even in here? I have no idea. I would assume it is. Never mind. Back inside the flight deck. Here we are. And this is running the 4K textures, right? So in the installer there's an option between 4K or 8K textures. I decided to go with 4K, and this is, I mean, this is brilliant. Look at how it's used. It's really done a lot of flights apparently. This is brilliant. I don't see any need as of now to switch up to 8K textures, to be honest. So I'm super happy staying with this one. This is insanely good. Look at all the touches on the display. Crazy, 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 crazy. Insanely good. All right, let's kick things off, right? We don't want to be on the ground forever. So starting from cold and dark, we have the external powers available. We will kick on the batteries. And I'm just operating it the way I feel it should be operated. Obviously, I have around about zero idea of the A380 especially. So excuse me if I mess up some procedures. I'm doing it to the best of my knowledge. And having done the test flight just before this one, I know it will get us from A to B today. After to avionics, I guess it should be on. Ground high frequency data link. Yeah, maybe it should be off. Maybe that's not needed, but not too sure. Nav lights, this comes to auto. Seatbelts on. This can stay off. Emergency 2 armed. Then, of course, we have full integration with everything, which makes it just so easy to do. Heading over to Muscat. Flight level 270. This is our routing. And then we go to this one, 0 fluid 347.9. Seems to be fairly heavy. 461 passengers. Wow, I don't even know if Emirates squeezes that many in there, but yeah. Looks good. But of course, hardly any fuel. Look at this. Maximum takeoff weight 510 tons. Wow, crazy stuff. I can't wait to max it out. But still, on a 48-minute flight, we are carrying 32 tons of fuel. I mean, in an A321, I don't think it can even load up this much fuel. Right, let's not get lost. I think it has full GSX integration. However, today I just want to be a little bit quicker than normal. Since I am a little bit on a time constraint here, but so let's get it from, yeah, this is sim brief data, so begin boarding, we can go instant, yeah, that's filled up, fuel, same stuff, instant, this is looking very good indeed. Right, then we head over to the flight, this needs to be hectopascals, of course, flight management system. And the way this is being operated is so different from anything I've seen before, but it's fun. I really like it. I really do. Let's do some stuff. So we are on the active AirRAC, which is just active as of today. Let's go to flight plan then. Flight plan request uplink insert in progress. Received flight plan insert Emirates 862. Alternate would, yeah, basically be back to Dubai, right? Everything else makes very little sense. 270 Cosmetics 143 trip wind. Let's try to get the wind data later on. Not sure if it works. Maybe we should enter. It's gonna be 2, 3, 4 at 17, and it's so convenient to enter stuff. Doesn't work like this, maybe. Oh, that's strange. Maybe +5. Now I've paused the sim. No. Okay, so there's something I need to find out how to enter. IRS is aligning in 3 minutes. That is good. Then we have a departure runway 30 right on the. Now I need to pull up my charts. Yeah, you can also check up the charts on the EFB. However, as I've mentioned before, I really like to have it on my second screen. Just makes things way easier for me. On the Anvik, Anvic 7 Foxtrot. Insert. And then we are planning on arrive runway 26 right, ILS 26 right, flying the Musu 1 uniform. Oh, right here. Musu 1 uniform via Booby 1 uniform. Right, let's pull up the charts. So, flying the NVIX 7 Foxtrot. RNAV departure, minimum 180, minimum 190, max 220. Okay, so these constraints are important for us. Certain altitudes will need to be above. That's good, and that should be very easy in a very light and powerful A380. And then flying the Musuk 1 uniform into Boobil, and then from Boobil, I guess we have the Boobil transition wherever it can be found. This one, Boobil 1 uniform. All right, so taking us to the other side, and then we will approach from the east. Normal ILS approach, right? Easy peasy. In it, fuel and loads. Now I think we need to enter this stuff manually, which we can easily do so. Zero fuel weight of 347.95, so that's 348 essentially. 348. Block fuel of 32.3. And we have a zero fuel weight center of gravity. 35. 35, like this. Also on 6.5, yes, seems about right. 30 minutes final. Right. Takeoff weight 380. Landing weight 355. I doubt that we will burn 25 tons of fuel on this one. Our fuel burn is 10 tons. Okay, this is a little bit odd. But this is right, 27.2. Okay, whatever. It will work. Navigates, we will skip this. Yes, wind still doesn't work. Fuel and payload we've done. Takeoff performance. And now, of course, we will use the SimBrief performance calculator, setting it up for the A380 OMDB runway 30 right. Takeoff weight 380 tons. Calculate, and we get data. V1 144, VR 146, V2 151. Flex temperature 66. Flaps 1. Trim, yeah, that's an issue, because I don't think we can figure out the trim, can we? I don't think we can figure it out. So I will need to leave this one open for the time being. 1500, 1500, yeah, I think it's okay. Will work for us today. Return. Okay, I think that's that in terms of setup. One very cool thing is the brake to vacate, which we will of course be using during the landing. This is a very amazing system. Right, where do we continue? So we will go up to cruise level 270. Also, let's fire up the APU. We will kick on the flight directors. Managed. That is good. Altimeters are, I think, 1012 at the moment. Yes, that's accurate. Right. And then we have checklists in here. We also have them in the EFB, but I really like this one. So cockpit preparation. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity, we have 32.3 tons on board. Bear reference is 1012. And this completes the cockpit preparation checklist. Right, then yeah, so here is trim 36, I don't know. On my first flight I had the aircraft rotating too early during the takeoff run, so let's see if this time it's gonna be better. Right, APU should be available. And external power is coming off. Then we go to services, ground power, door. And essentially, let me think, but I think we can call in GSX. And then we have the very cool onboard navigation charts, which is also the first aircraft for me to have this. I know the there's a different Latin BF. I think Latin BFR has an aircraft with this one, but for me it's the first time. Super amazing. Super amazing. Then external power always shows available. I think that's a little bit of a bug. We will put on the countless fuel pumps. How much fuel can the A380 hold? Like 250 tons or something? I guess it's quite a lot. Right, and then we will put on the beacons and call up the before start checklist. Parking brake at the moment is still set. And then we have takeoff speeds and thruster inserted. Checklist complete. Right, so yeah, beacons are on facing using our cool map. Zulu northwest. Yeah, because we taxi around 30 left. Right.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
There we go, guys. Look at the size of this thing. Look how small the Marshall is. Oh man, I should really fly this thing in VR one day. Amazing stuff. Alright. Let's turn our attention towards the Rolls-Royce engines, which, flying an Airbus, is as intuitive as can be. Engine page. Let's start with number 4 today. I wonder why the system page is not coming to life. There we go. Yeah, I think the startup's slightly weird, to be honest, because it just kicks on and then it's stable at some values. So N2 and 3 rise really fast. And then N1 is 3%. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Seems very little to me, but Rolls-Royce engines sometimes work slightly different compared to other engines, so I don't know.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brake is set. Number 2. Yeah, look at this wing view. Amazing stuff. Guys, let me know in the comments below, have you been on an A380 before? If so, let me know what's your experience. I've been lucky, but of course living in Frankfurt, Lufthansa used to have their A380 fleet in Frankfurt. I think now it's entirely in Munich. But yeah, so I've been lucky. I've been on a few A380 flights, and it's really cool experience. It's really a soft giant. Everything feels so soft and stable, and the takeoff is, to be honest, it's quite boring. It's super boring because you can't really feel the acceleration as much as you can in other aircraft. At least that's my impression. Right, so yeah, I think we have 4 good engine starts. Although the startup does seem a little bit weird, but okay. Right, then we kill the APU bleed, APU masters coming off. Generator fault. That's strange.
Clear to start engines.
Right, take off, brakes, flaps 1, trim. Yeah, the flap sounds. I mean, the flap sounds in itself are 100% paper quality. A little bit unsure about those engines. Maybe they actually did take longer to start up because these values still keep rising. Strange. Right. Getting a little bit lost here. So overhead is fine. We can start taxiing any second, so this is coming on. No mobiles can come on as well. We will go to... I need the checklist. Yeah, transponder. I was just about to say. So surveillance, transponder, auto, standby, normal. Okay. I think it's convenient to have this over here. Checklists. After start checklist. Anti-ice not required. Pitch trim. Take off. Rudder trim. Okay, so apparently it is takeoff of wherever it gets this value from. But take off. Yeah, that's out of range. Okay, whatever. Right. Taxi checklist. Flight controls are not checked. I knew I forgot something. Full left, full right, full up, full down, and rudder full left, Right, that is checked. Back to checklist. Flap settings 1 plus F. Radar is on. Well, transponder is on standby. Crown spoilers. That's checked, and then TO config should be checked as well. That's normal. Sweet. Lights are on, so we are good to go. Parking brake coming off. Now, since we are very light, we even start taxiing on idle power. Let's put in a bit of thrust. Now using our beautiful ground charts. Nose wheel steering is something to get used to, in my opinion. Although it works very well, I like how it's how the system works, but I needed a little bit of time to get used to it. And then we will take, what is the next one? It's a little bit hard to read. Lima 4. And then we can taxi all the way down to the runway threshold. Right, so we can go like 1 or 2 exits further, or entrances rather. Traffic, although it's not gonna be any traffic around. This comes to TARA. Checklist, do we have it completed? Lineup checklist. Takeoff runway 30 right is confirmed. Cabin crew. All the calls don't work. Never mind. Packs 1 and 2 are on. Checklist is complete. Strobes, landing lights, takeoff. Let's assume we are clear for takeoff. Also, I want to find out which is the smallest airport the A380 is flying to. I have seen it's at the moment it's operating from Dubai to Nice, which is kind of cool. Nice is not very small, but it has a very cool RNAV approach, which I think is going to be super fun flying an A380. Other than that, I know it's going to Mauritius. Not sure if it's going to the Seychelles or to the Maldives. But yeah, let me know, guys. I'm sure some experts among you will know which is the smallest airfield the A380 is operating into. And by small, I actually mean runway length, since this is the sort of the crucial bit for flying the A380, I assume. Right. Let's get cracking. Chrono. And let's go. I do not know where we would stabilize. Maybe around 50% thrust. flag 66 SS runway or thrust blue. That is 100 knots already. Look at the engine shake. Super nice. Right. V1 and rotate. It has one of the smoothest rotations of all aircrafts in the sim. Incredibly good. I feel like they could have added a little bit of more wing flex. However, we are very light now and the engines are heavy and the wings are heavy, so maybe it's even realistic. I don't know. I guess we would need to try heavy flight and see how much flex we get in the wings. Taxi lights, spoilers. Sticking to minimum 180, maximum 220 we are allowed to go. Getting to the left-hand turn. Super good. Yeah, climbing like crazy. But I've read that somewhere. I think they mentioned that the climb power is actually a little bit too much. But it seems like it's kind of hard to fix with the sim limitations. Right, I think we can retract the flaps up. We have a clean speed of 200, which is fine because we can go maximum to 20. So go speed to 20. Autopilot. Yeah, now on the routing. Not even that easy to find. God damn, where's my routing? Flight plan. One thing I did not manage to do yet is to get rid of constraints. For example, we have the maximum 230 at 588. 220 it's even here. Okay, this one I can do because I have had... I don't want to do this. Raise temporary. Right, we passed 10,000. Yeah, I don't know. I have had altitude constraints which I was unable to delete. This one, for example. I mean, there's no point in deleting it now, that's for sure. But also on my first test flight. I was not able to delete an altitude constraint. Also one reason why I would not fly it on the network on the very first day. Or the very first flight. But yeah. Right, let's go back to the flight plan. And let's see, I think... Yeah, we're actually tracking almost towards NVIX now, so there's no point in dialing it direct. But we can go back to managed speed, and this should put us to 230 for now, which is good. Just not sure why it's showing 220 in here, because also on the chart it says maximum 230. Max 250, but maybe this is something we can get rid of. Delete speed constraint. And now we can speed up to 91. Cool. Seatbelts, no mobiles. Haha, look at how much altitude we have already gained. Crazy. Right guys, so I don't think we have an after takeoff checklist. Yeah, we don't. So passing flight of 180 already, we are on our way to Muscat, and we will get there within shorts. Look at this short routing. And yeah, looking forward to the landing, and I will catch you in a little bit. Enjoy. Right, so we have just left flight level 270, heading down to 1000 now. But there's a few things we want to do, and I want to do them together with you guys. So back to active performance. Then on the approach page, we need to enter our approach data, of course. So wind at Muscat right now is 230 at 3. Outside air temperature 28, QNH 1012. The ILS into runway 26 right has a decision altitude of 239er. That goes in here. And yeah, so full config 139. The approach speeds I find incredibly low. I mean, think about the 737, right? So you often come in well above 150 knots on the approach speed. This one is quite low, so I would guess we can even take it config 3 today. I think there's nothing against that. Right, so that's that. And then the famous brake to vacate. Really cool system. I wish we had this in more aircrafts. Not sure why they only have it in the A380. Not sure if it's in the newer Airbuses. Is it like in the A350 as well? Question to you guys, but I don't know. Right, so it's not super intuitive to set it up, but apparently we go into plan mode, go into the zoom page, and this will take a little while. And here's our airfield. If it's not here, you can select it here. Sometimes it's still on the on the departure one, but here it is loaded in, so we can zoom in. Now we need to select 28 right. Now that is selected. We get two lines, dry and wet, and you can all read this up on the FlyByWire page. They've made a little bit of a tutorial on this. So that's the minimum landing distance for dry, and this is the minimum landing distance for wet. Usually when you plan an exit, you always go behind the wet one, so you have a bit of margin of error. In this case, there's not even too many exits. Essentially, it's only Yankee 4, which is interesting to us. And then we can go ahead and select Yankee 4. Now Yankee 4 is selected, and then we can arm brake to vacate, and now it is armed over here, and this is how we set it up. So cool, right? I don't know why, but I find this amazing. And the brake to vacate is kind of fancy to watch, because the aircraft is not braking initially. It comes in really fast, but then towards the end it brakes rather hard. I think this is also to reduce the wear on the brakes, and also to minimize runway vacancy time. But yeah, this is how we set it up. Very cool. Very cool stuff. Especially sometimes flying into bigger airports or busy airports. Even on the ATIS, you might get something saying like use exit whatever, right? And then I usually found it very hard to plan for that, but now with this setup, it's becoming just super easy. Right, so that's all the setup we need to do. Transition altitude is for 150. We are heading down to 110, so we can even go to local 1012. And yeah, that airport is down there, but we still need to fly around and come in from the other side, so that's taking a little bit longer. Right, can't wait for the landing, guys. Only a few more minutes. Right, so we are turning towards final. Yeah, VNAV is not 100% accurate. We had a speed constraint on the previous one, which we didn't maintain. Now we have speed constraint on this one, which we can't maintain. Also, for some reason, I can't select it to change it or anything. At least, or maybe I am clicking the wrong bits, but. Yeah, so not 100% accurate in terms of VNAV, but we have seen this on many other aircrafts as well. Also, this one we should be 4,500 above, which we are not, obviously. So a few things not working out perfectly, but this is not a biggie. Those can be armed. Let's see, landing system. Yeah, localizer. Approach mode. I think we still need to run some checklists. Approach checklist. Bear reference is set 1012. Minimums are set 239er. Auto brake is BTB. That is completed. Next up will be the landing checklist. Right, let's see. So we should be well below 230 knots now, which we're not quite. Flap 1 speed 263, so we can go flap 1 indeed. That is the glide slope captured. Door altitude is 6,000, so that is selected. I believe we should go ahead and activate the approach phase. That is confirm. Okay, so I just noticed that right now. We should have done it earlier, that's for sure. But we're still gonna be fine. Yeah, speed is dropping nicely. Well, I need to start the recording so we can look at the landing later on. Right, let's drop the gear a bit. Or what is flap 2? Yeah, 220. So let's drop the gear a little bit early. Now we can go flap 2. Yeah, speed is dropping like crazy. Wow. Okay. A lot of drag on this aircraft apparently. And then we go. Flap 3, and then this should complete the landing checklist. It does. Right. Lights are okay, so let's do some flying. Okay, that's not activated, but that's okay. Then we will do it like this. Okay, yeah, so on my first test flight, the one thing I found was that it does not necessarily behave like an A320 flying it manually, at least that's my impression of it. It's a bit of an input lag, a little bit more like the A330, but maybe that's even due to the size of the aircraft. So I hope I can get a good landing, but no guarantee for this. Now it becomes a little bit wiggly. Nice golf course down below. Yeah, 4 knots of wind, so that's easy peasy. It's a little bit hard to control around the pitch axis.
Minimum.
Continue. A bit off center line, but that's okay.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
There we are. Reverse. Reverse green. Decel, and now not a lot is going to happen until we get closer to the exit, and then the brakes are slamming in. There we go. Now the braking action is kicking in. Idle forward.
Auto brake off.
Auto brake off. Yeah, I think I accidentally tapped the brakes. That's why. Right, 30 knots. That's good enough for a high-speed exit. And there we are. Welcome to Muscat, everyone. Now look at this. Look at the size of those flaps. Holy guacamole. Right. Terrain off. Spoilers down. Taxi light, landing lights, strobes. Oh, I forgot to switch them on earlier. Okay, never mind. Then we will leave them on auto. I guess that's exactly why they have an auto position. Right, and now we just need to taxi back to the stands. And that's gonna be that. Yeah, so touchdown rate of 290 feet per minute. Not perfect, but not too bad for the second ever landing in this aircraft. Much better than the first one I did earlier on, and certainly room to improve. Right, and now, of course, going back to our beautiful airport navigation, and now we need to find a stand. Gate. It's all too small. Four or three. Okay, then I need to take a right-hand turn and switch over to the other side. Okay. we are almost... There we go. Oh, that was nice. Parking brake. APU is running. Killing 4 engines. APU bleeds. Oh. This is not supposed to happen. Request deboarding. Right, beacons. Seat belts. All the fuel pumps, I guess. That's a handful. There should be one switch to select all the fuel pumps. Right, so this is set. Gears can stay on, I guess. And then we will have a look at the shutdown checklist. Or parking checklist as it is called apparently. Parking brakes or chocks are set. Engines are off. Wing lights are off. Fuel pumps are off. Just double checking where your wing lights are off. Okay. So that's that. Ground power, cargo door. I don't know, forward, aft. Oh, it's both forward. Okay, that's interesting. Right, let's leave it at that. External power. Right, here we are. And one thing I really love is that the cargo doors are opening really slowly. It is nice. Right, guys. Wow, first flight in the A380. Super, super, super exciting. To finally have a new aircraft. Also an aircraft which we never had before in any other sim. So that is thoroughly exciting. And I really, really can't wait to take this beast on some long flights. And take it close to the maximum takeoff weight. That's gonna be amazing. Right, and yeah, let's see. It is end of October. The 777 freighter was supposed to be released in October. I guess that's not gonna happen. But I kind of feel like maybe next week we will have the A380 again. Depends a little bit on what PMDG is giving us up to that point. But yeah, I'm really excited about this aircraft. It really exceeded all my expectations, and that's a very good thing. And yeah, can't wait to do some proper long hauls. Alright guys, we will leave it at that for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you all enjoy your time in the A380. And yeah, I will see you on the next one. Take care everyone, and bye bye.